Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to get this everyday glowy makeup look. I wear this when I'm not going anywhere fancy or if I'm just around my house and I want to feel pretty. I put this on and it takes me literally like 5 to 10 minutes to do if I'm not talking. So if you're interested in seeing how to get this glowy look, then just keep watching. Okay, so I already went in with moisturizer. I like to do that a half hour before actually going in with my foundation, just so it has time to settle into the skin and do its job. The moisturizer that I've been using lately is by Dermalogica. It's their skin smoothing cream. Guys, I cannot say enough about this. It is fantastic. Back in November, I went to Ulta because I was turning 30 that month and I just really wanted a skincare routine geared more towards anti-aging and things like that. So one of the girls there recommended the Dermalogica line, and I had never used any of their products, but I've used it ever since then, and it's amazing. It's done wonderful things to my skin. Next, I'm going to go in with my primer. Now, I use a couple different ones. It just depends on the day. Today, I'm going to go in with the Cover FX Blurring Primer. This one does wonders for my pores. I have big pores right around in my T-zone area, so this does a good job of hiding that. So that's where I mainly just focus this primer. I don't really put it all over my face. I just focus it in that area. I just put a little on my finger like that. And then I press it in rather than swiping. Pressing it in helps the pores disappear rather than if I were to swipe. Like that. Next is my foundation, and the foundation I'm going to be using today is, now we're going to go in with foundation, and the one that I'll be using today is by Clinique. It's their Even Better foundation. I have been using this for about 6 months now. I love it so much. It has SPF 15, which is great because you always want to make sure you're protecting your skin, and it does a good job of like covering my blemishes without making me look cakey. And it's a medium coverage, but you can build it up to full. It leaves my skin with a satin finish, so it's not matte and it's not like too dewy, which is something I love. So I'm going to be using that today. I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. I put about that much on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to take this Tarte Maracuja oil, and I'm just going to mix in 1 drop with my foundation. That's it, just 1. Mix it all up. Dab it on my face. To blend out the foundation today, I'm going to be using these Hank & Henry sponges that I had talked about in my BoxyCharm video. It's very dirty. So what have you guys been doing to keep busy during quarantine? Or are you doing anything? Are there any shows you're watching? Or new music you're listening to? This is gonna sound weird to most of you, but I made a quarantine playlist on my phone. It's actually pretty funny. Just because music is how I cope with things. So I wanted, as shitty as this time is right now, I wanted to remember it in some way. So I made this playlist on my phone, and it has stuff like Can't Touch This and what else? Down with the Sickness and Can't Keep My Hands to Myself, and just like random things like that that reminds me of this time. So I actually got the idea from a friend of mine because she did it too. I've been watching some new shows, but just not a whole lot, because I'm just like weird when it comes to new shows. It takes a lot for me to like it, and most of the time I end up turning it off in the like first 15 minutes. Like the other day I tried watching the show Outer Banks because someone had said that it was like the show One Tree Hill. I don't know if any of you know what that is. I'm sure some of you out there do. But that's one of my favorite shows, and so I was like, hell yeah, I'll watch that. And I watched it. I turned it off in the first like 20 minutes. It is nothing like One Tree Hill at all. So, spoiler alert, if you're wanting to watch that, it's nothing like One Tree Hill. There's like murder in it, and the only similar thing about that show and One Tree Hill is they were both filmed in North Carolina. So, one show I have enjoyed, it's on Netflix, and it's called Too Hot to Handle. You will like this, especially if you are a Bachelor fan, because it kind of has Bachelor in Paradise vibes. Basically, they bring these people onto a beach. They're very attractive people, go figure. And so they meet each other, make connections, but there's a catch. They meet each other, make connections, and at the end of the series, you win, I think it's $100,000, but you cannot kiss each other, touch each other, or have sex. If you're able to not have sex with each other or kiss each other, then you win $100,000. But if you break the rules, money is deducted from that 100,000. So like I think a kiss was like 3,000 gone. Sex was like I think 20,000. I don't remember, but I recommend it. It's really good. Also, I watched Love is Blind. That one was really good too. Other than that, I haven't really watched anything else new. Oh, I did start the show All American. I don't know if any of you know what that is, but I love that show. I'm almost done with the first season, so I recommend that one too. Okay, now I'm going to go in with concealer, and the concealer I'll be using today is by Morphe. It's their full coverage concealer. This doesn't have a name on it, so I don't really know what shade it's in, but I really like this concealer. It's full coverage, like I said, and it doesn't look too drying under the eye, and it doesn't really, I mean, I set my concealer regardless, but I don't have trouble with this creasing, so that's a plus. So I put it under my eyes, I put it down the bridge of the nose, on the Cupid's bow, and then my chin, forehead, and then I get dark right around my nose, so I put some here and then here. You just want to balance everything out, and then I just take my beauty blender and I blend it in. Now, when you're blending it under your eye, make sure you apply light pressure. That way you get the most coverage out of it. I learned that from Kristen Dominique. I don't know if you guys watch her, but if you don't, you should. Okay, and then just to give my skin even more of a glow, I'm going to go in with this stick highlighter by Hourglass. It's their Vanish stick in the shade Gold Flash. This highlighter stick is an oldie but a goodie. I love it so much. It makes my skin look so glowy and fresh. So I just take some on my finger and I just dab it on the high points of my face. So my cheekbones, like that. Look how glowy that is. Do you see that? And then I do the tip of the nose, my Cupid's bow, and then I do right above the brow. Like that. And then I take my beauty blender again and I'll just go over it very lightly just so it soaks into my skin and looks more natural. Okay, now it's time to set everything we just did, and it's very important to set your concealer especially so it doesn't crease under your eyes because nobody likes that look. So today I'm going to be using this setting powder by Hourglass. It's their Veil translucent powder. So I just take my beauty blender and I dab it in there. Tap off the excess. Tap off the excess. And then I look up. I just dab it under my eyes. And then I just set the rest of my face with it too. See how my skin still looks glowy? So it didn't really, it set my skin, like it set my foundation and stuff without making it look too matte. Now I'm gonna go do my brows, but I'm actually gonna do them off camera because I have to get really close to the mirror and you guys won't be able to see me. All I do is I'll just brush up the hairs so they're feathery, and then I will just fill in where I think it looks empty. I was blessed with really good eyebrows, so they're naturally already thick and kind of full. So for my everyday makeup, I don't really go all out with them. I'll just fill in where I think it needs it the most. Go figure, God gave me good brows, but just no legs. I'll explain that when I get back. Brows are on, and now I'm going to go in with bronzer. We want to do this just to bring some dimension back into the face, because once you put on your concealer and foundation, your face kind of looks drowned out by all of it. So you just want to use some bronzer to just bring life back into your face, basically. So the bronzer that I'm going to be using today is by Too Faced. It's their Chocolate Soleil bronzer. This smells like a freaking chocolate bar. If you don't have this, go get it just order it. It smells amazing. I love this bronzer. It looks great on my skin. I don't get any patchiness from it. I'm gonna take my Morphe powder brush. This is the Morphe R2. It's kind of dirty. Just gonna start bronzing up my cheeks. Okay, so I want to talk to you about the no leg comment that I made before I went to do my brows. Basically, I want to be real with you guys, like as real as I want to be real with you guys on this channel. As real as possible. So basically, I was born without legs. Well, okay, that's not entirely true. Hang on. I was born with legs, but I have a condition called spina bifida, and I'm also paralyzed from the waist down. So when I was born, my legs were born twisted and backward, and I wasn't able to sit for the first 2 years of my life. I always had to be like laying down just because my legs did not work. And they were bent backwards, so it made it hard to do anything. And then at 2 years old, I was adopted at 3 months old. So at 2 years old, my adoptive parents made the decision to have my legs amputated. So because of all of that, I spent a good chunk of my life in a hospital. I'm really grateful that they made the decision to have my legs amputated, just because I'm very independent now because of it, and I feel like if I would have had that added weight of those like legs that didn't even work, I wouldn't have been as independent as I am now. So I'm grateful for that, even though school up until high school was kind of a bitch for me. Middle school was rough. Middle school was rough. I got made fun of a lot, almost every day. I remember being spit on, and I would get pushed down the stairs just because of the way I looked and just because I was in a wheelchair. I use a chair to get around most days. When I'm at home, sometimes I'll crawl, but most of the time I'm just in my chair because it's just easier to reach things, and it's easier on my shoulders. I have a lot of shoulder problems, so being in the chair is just easier. So that's a little bit about me and my story that you guys don't really know. I'm just gonna bronze up the chin area, take it down to the neck. Now, after my bronzer, I like to go in with some blush, and the blush I'm going to be using is this peachy shade by the brand Ofra. I love their blushes so much. So I'm just gonna take this stippling brush. Again, it's by Morphe. If you can't tell, I'm obsessed with Morphe and their brushes. I think they're really good. Some people hate them, but I don't really understand why. I've never had a problem with them. So, okay. I do not put blush on the apples of my cheeks because I naturally have really big cheeks to begin with, and I don't want to draw any more attention to that than I need to. So I start here, and then I work my way back toward the hairline. That will create the illusion that everything is just nice and lifted back, and it will just like when you contour, it makes your face appear thinner. So that's what I'm trying to do with the blush. I learned this way back in the day from Jaclyn Hill. So take it, and then I just stipple it right back to the hairline. Like that. It's a really pretty shade. It's not too dramatic. I like really subtle blush because I don't really want to look like a clown. like that. And then I'll just do the same on the other side. And then I like to take some on the nose. Like that. And then just for my eyes, I don't really do much with them on a regular basis. I will just take like a blending brush. This is the Morphe JH30. This is the Morphe JH36 and some of my bronzer, and I'll literally just swirl my brush in it, tap off the excess, and I will just put this shade right in my crease. Just to add some dimension to the eye and make it look like you're more awake. This eye is my struggle eye. It's more hooded, so, but I work with it. Like that, and it's real natural. You can't even tell that I have anything on the eyes, but it just adds a little dimension to them. And then I'm gonna take my mascara in Lash Paradise by L'Oreal and add that to my lashes. And then to add even more glow to the skin, I'm going to be going in with this Super Shock Cheek highlighting shade, and this is in the shade Flexitarian. This is my favorite shade that they have. Just watch. I don't take it near like the apples of my cheeks because that's where I have bigger pores, and anywhere you put highlight, it's going to bring out your pores, and that's not a good look. So I like to keep it back here and then go up. Like, look at that. Whew! She's glowing. On the nose. And then again up here, or above the brow. And then once again, I will take my beauty blender and just go over that to just sink it into my skin. Look how glowy. Isn't that crazy? Go get that highlighting shade. I highly recommend it. Okay, last but not least is the lip. Now, I don't wear crazy shades. I do sometimes, but normally I'm a nude person. So I'm gonna go in with this lip liner. It's in the shade Dark Natural. So I'm just gonna line my lips with this, and I overline my lips a lot just because they're so tiny. I really want hang on. I really want lip injections, but I am scared of needles. So who knows if we'll actually ever go through with that, you know? So for now, I just line my lips, or for now, I just overline them. Okay, so the liner is on. Look how pretty that is. And then over top of the liner, I'm just going to go in with this Morphe gloss in the shade Boho. And just put it right over top. Like that. And then the very last step, you want to make sure your makeup doesn't go anywhere throughout the day. So you want to set it. And the setting spray I'm going to be using today is by Morphe. Go figure. I have a lot of Morphe stuff. Sorry. They're just a really good brand. And they're very affordable. So sorry, not sorry. Okay, anyway. It's their continuous setting spray. The mist on this, I could die. I love it so much. Just watch. Please tell me that's not amazing. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna set my face with this. Let it dry. Okay guys, so here's the finished look. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I post. Also, follow my social media, my Instagram. I'll have it linked down below in the description box. I'll also have it up here on the screen if I can figure out how to do that. What else? I'll get better at these outros, I swear. I think that's it. Make sure to subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. And I will see you guys in my next video.